Hi, Raz.
Hi Ajay, how are you?
Very good, very good. Great to see you again.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming.
It's always a pleasure. So, Raz, we have been discussing this several times that let's talk about Tantra, and I've been kind of reluctant to take it up because, honestly speaking, I don't know much about it. I think, absolutely no idea what it is, and that's for the reason I was like not very, you know, eager to take it up. But like, why don't you like maybe this is an opportunity for me to understand what it is, and why don't you like help me understand a few
I'm
things
happy
about it?
that you're talking about this, and definitely you have all the seeds within you. That's why we are here and talking. Okay?
I'm just curious to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Tantra is a spiritual way of discovering oneself.
Okay.
You know, discovering ultimate truth about oneself, to ultimate realization of who I am.
Hmm.
And if you say that in historical perspective, then it is a conversation. It started with all conversation between Shankar and Parvati, where Shankar and Parvati sitting together, and Parvati asking certain questions about who I am, who they are, what's this universe, you know, and how we all exist.
Uh-huh.
So, and Shiva is trying to answer, and in that process, Shiva has given 112 sutras, that is sutras techniques, which forms of meditation in which you can discover the
Yes, sir.
ultimate truth.
Okay.
So, Tantra has been divided for for study sake to explain in language. As I said, it's very difficult to put Tantra. It's more experiential in nature.
Okay.
It cannot be uh, put in language. It cannot be studied. It has to be lived. But for that, there are certain description of Tantra in form of colors. There is white Tantra. There is pink Tantra,
Oh, really?
red Tantra, black Tantra.
So
So,
they've color coded the whole thing.
in fact, if you go by it, so those colors denotes your chakra, colors of chakras also,
The 7 chakras in our body.
chakras. And you Kundalini, what we speak about Kundalini Jagran and all,
Right.
is part of this tantric process.
Interesting.
Tantric process. So, so let me begin with describing what is White Tantra.
Okay.
So, White Tantra is basically Tantra which starts with self. Generally, especially in West, when they say Tantra, so they say that they feel that it is a yogic practice of having a great sex life, or it is sexual postures, but that is not the case. It's all about liberation. So it starts for any liberation starts from yourself,
Starts
self,
from self.
from self.
Okay.
And the beauty of Tantra is that you have need not to go to discover your ultimate true self beyond yourself, beyond your body. Body becomes important.
Can you repeat that, please?
Generally, in other spiritual practices, uh, body is importance to body is not given much. For example,
Consciousness and all living.
yeah, for if you go to the Christian way of spirituality or Islamic way of spirituality, or even in Vedantic philosophy also spirituality, the other form of way of self-realization. So body is not being considered as a basic tool, but in Tantra, your body becomes the medium
Interesting.
for self-realization.
Right.
Everything is been discovered within yourself.
And body acts as a medium for that.
Body acts as a medium for that, yeah, very correctly. And it starts with White Tantra. And White Tantra is knowing yourself, observing yourself, who I am, observing your breath. breath plays an important role in Tantra.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of breathing exercises,
Mm-hmm.
observation of your breath.
Mm.
है ना? क्योंकि breath connects you to existence.
That connects you to the existence.
To the existence. If I say, what is distinguishing me in this physical form as a living being or a non-living being, is breath only. If I lose breath, I will declare dead.
Right.
So breath becomes significant. It becomes a great medium to discover yourself.
Right.
And then you have to meditate. You have to indulge in yoga, physical yoga, mental yoga. What is yoga? Yoga is union. Union with ultimate.
Right.
So the kind of food you eat becomes important.
Yeah.
In White Tantra, it's basically completion yourself. For example, if I say, I say that is a conversation between Shankara and Parvati. When Shankara is not with Parvati, what he is doing? Most of the time, he is in yogi posture, meditating.
Yeah.
And in that meditation, he is discovering his complete self, balancing his both energy, masculine and feminine. And that's why Shankara is known as Adi
Yogi.
Adi Yogi, Adi Nireshwar.
Right.
Yeah.
But like you said, this is maybe the beginning of exploring and understanding it. Like the body being medium, I have to like maybe monitor my breath and the kind of food I eat, the kind of physical yoga I do. That contributes to it. But like you say, it's about like expansion
of yourself. You will realize that in White Tantra, you will realize that you are not body. You are not the only body. Though your focus, you are discovering yourself in the body, but when you start looking within yourself, you will come to know that you are not the body. You have a body. You're not your thought. You have a thought.
Right.
You do not have a feeling. You have a feeling. You have an emotion. You have a language. So you will discover, and slowly in discovery, then journey starts from there. And White Tantra in itself is whole and complete. It's not required to go in other. If one is practicing within oneself, that is whole, perfect and complete in itself. But expansion, as you know, Tantra is all about expanding yourself.
Right.
Then from self to other self. For example, I say...
But before we go to other self, I want to... sorry, I'm interrupting your chain of thought, but we have been talking about a lot of stuff in meditation and spirituality, and the last time we spoke about consciousness. So, like Tantra being there, like understanding myself and getting to know that this, while I'm looking it through a medium of my body, but it's an exercise or a practice to go beyond it. So, how does it relate or correlate to consciousness we've spoken about earlier?
It's all about consciousness, no? When you're looking within yourself, you will come to know who is looking, what you are looking at. It's part of Tantra, is part of consciousness. Its ultimate goal is to attain your ultimate consciousness, to merge your present local consciousness to ultimate consciousness. That's the goal of Tantra.
Right.
So now coming from White Tantra to Red and Pink Tantra. Red Tantra is more gross in nature, where sex become a medium, a sex with a partner. a similar attitude partner with whom you love, and that partner loves you.
Hmm.
You know, love becomes important in that aspect, and they share, despite being in two body, while being in sex, they experience oneness.
Okay.
And this whole conversation, which is happening between Shankara and Parvati, is a very private conversation, very intimate conversation. Both are having together. So when you are with your sexual partner, where I get dissolved, this is who I am. I am this my body, I am this my thought, I am this my I, you know, I am so and so. That I dissolves in your partner, where you become your partner and your partner becomes you.
Got that. So like you discussed about white tantra, red tantra.
And pink tantra is all about acceptance.
Oh, okay.
Pink as a symbol of love, unconditional love. Red is also love, but it's gross in nature. Pink is much more subtle, where acceptance of your desires. Yes, I have a desire.
So are these color codes written in the yogic scriptures or the Vedantic philosophy we follow?
You know,
Or is it that it evolved over a period of time?
I'm talking about my experience of Tantra. It may have a trapping, you may see that I'm not claiming that I'm speaking something new about it. Okay? I have also learned, acquired through my experiences. So I'm just narrating my own experiences.
So
What, according to me, what Tantra is.
No, I'm getting it.
See, that area is too big for me to go into.
No, being
that.
a designer,
To be
like I
honest.
was a little curious when you spoke about the colors and color codes. So I
Yeah.
thought probably just want to know, like, were people so? I'm sure they were evolved, but the fact that they made it to like that specification that they could specify colors for tantric levels or zones
What
or
I
energy
can say,
structures. Yeah.
color during meditation,
Or is it to do with the aura?
during meditation, when you will start looking within self, certain way of being will start you identifying with certain colors, and there will be some commonness will be achieved at collective consciousness or a group consciousness of
Okay.
meditators,
Okay.
that they say that this color denotes this kind of emotion, this color denotes this kind of emotions, this kind of way of being. For example, so that's part of group consciousness, collective consciousness of meditator.
Yeah, which is interesting, but like, sorry, I'm diverting from the main core topic of it. But like the designer in me is want to know, I'm curious to know that if something which was written maybe 7,000 years ago, and it has that some suggestions about the colors you can associate with it of way of being or the tantric levels or energies or whatever it is, and somehow the Western philosophy and Western practices, they also relate to the same colors in similar way. Red being, like you said, the gross and passionate, pink being more subtle and acceptance and love, white being maybe the basic level of purity and things like that. So it's interesting
If
to
you
know
go
how
by,
they're like,
if you go into chakra healings, various chakras has been described in various colors.
okay, that's what it's coming
Like
from
root
there.
chakra, Muladhara chakras has been described in red. And crown chakra has been described in golden.
Yes.
And throat chakra is described in violet. Heart chakra into pink. There are various colors been associated. But the moment you start meditating, you will start relating to those colors.
Okay.
It's not that somebody planted some color
just like that.
like that.